Hey guys, so I get a lot of questions about the solar panels that I built as a roof. So I'm going to do a follow-up to my follow-up and hopefully clear up the last of the few questions that I get pretty often about that array.
So you guys will have to forgive the mess, the pollen all over the panels. I wanted to show you the bottom section. The reason I made this so close here is because when you put a gutter here, the panels are so thick they would pour right into the gutter if I were going to do a gutter. But that also helps. They are resting right on the framing here, so that supported this side. But I wanted to show you as far as the corners of this building. Since I hang over so much on this, I could not do the same thing. In other words, this corner on, and everyone's not going to do their shed the same way, but this corner of the panels is hanging out in the air unless you provide it support. So the sun's going to make it kind of difficult here, but I'll try to get in the shade. Here, this is a better angle. So this is what I came up with. I put a piece of steel, and it could be aluminum, whichever could take it, bridged from the side there to hold the corner of the panels. And you can tie it in with an L bracket or something up there too if you thought just that side needed to be screwed in. But that solved my issue with the corner because I was overhanging so far. If I was, let me see if I can get, yeah. If I was further down with the panel, it may be a lesser concern. But I'm hoping you guys can understand what I'm talking about. The corner down below doesn't have that issue because it's resting right on the framing. But when you get up here, there's no framing to hold this far corner, so I had to come up with something. You could use lumber, but I thought it would twist up and bleach eventually. So I used steel. That was my remedy. And the other side as well. I have steel on it.
People have also asked really frequently how I tied the panels down. So these are the lath screws. I will put a photo of what they look like. This is just what I use. You could use tech screws, any kind of metal cutting screws. The reason I chose the lath screws, they've got a nice broad head on them. Plus they go through wood easily too before they bite into the metal of the panel. What's crucial about these, and any screw you get, is that you don't get it too long or you'll actually go into the face of the panel. So you just want to measure it beforehand. I think these were 1.25" lath screws that I used. So here I just have some build photos. So that's me leveling everything up, getting all the posts in. The framing is up, doing some of the joists. And here is me safely scaling all the lumber to install more of the purlins at the top. Just prepping for the panels. And here's how we installed the panels. I used Lexel caulking in between the joints. I'll put a photo there. And we went one row at a time up. And then I left the top row for last, and I just built a scaffold and installed them at the top. So it was not too hard. They're just awkward to get up there. So it's sort of a pain to get the panels all up there set in a row. But once they were up, they were up. We squeezed the caulk in, and any excess we wiped off with mineral spirits from the face. So I'm sure there's a better option as far as, putting in between the panels. I'm sure there's some kind of other caulking or a rubber that people could install. But that's the option we went with on that. After that, we wrapped the building in metal, and I started on a retaining wall and parging the bottom of the shed just to give it a decorative finish at the end, and then I laid stone throughout. And we were essentially done after that, but I went and built a loft inside to be able to store some things, and that pretty much wrapped up the build. Overall, it was time consuming doing it in the evenings and when I had my time off, but once it was built, it's there, so it's good for storage and great for PV production. Thanks for watching, guys. I've got a lot of good stuff coming up.